And something we don't like to acknowledge is that men become somewhat unattractive to the opposite sex and lack self-esteem and lose their role when they're not economically viable. 3/4 of women say economic viability is key to mate. It's only a quarter of men who say that. So they have fewer educational opportunities. They have legislative policies and tax policies that have taken money out of them. They've also been a little bit pathologized. I talk about the fact that a man's desire to have a relationship and, quite frankly, to have sex, it's been pathologized. But that fire should and is usually used to be a better man, dress better, be in shape. The secret weapon for attracting a mate, a kindness practice. But where does a man demonstrate excellence? They're not going to work. They're not going to school. 40% of bars and pubs have closed down since COVID. Where does he demonstrate excellence? And if you talk to women, and I'll wrap up here, who've been married longer than 40 years, they say they were not interested in him in the beginning, but they fell in love. I like the way he danced. He was kind to his parents. He was great at work. Where does a young man demonstrate excellence now in a world of remote work?
You should share that stat we were just talking about 45%, which I found staggering. In the
Men don't want these women. That's what it is. A lot of men and a lot of young men don't want this type of women. We're in a situation now where women are going out there saying, I don't need a man. So the men are just saying, you know what, I'm going to chill at the crib. I ain't going to waste my money. I ain't going to waste my time. Yeah, back in the day, we used to go to bars, used to go to club. For men, it was like a competition. But why would you do all of that when you're looking at social media all day and all you see is women saying, I don't need a man. I don't need a man unless he got millions and millions of dollars. So these young men are kind of like, well, bump it. I ain't got millions and millions of dollars, so why waste my time? The women are so much in the feminist movement and saying you don't need a man where the men don't want you either. It's because what you portraying. You acting like you don't need a man, and in return, you become a man. So a man doesn't want to be with a man. A man wants to be with a soft woman. A man wants to be with a woman that's okay with just being with him and growing with him. Women want a man with all this money, but not willing to do the things to keep that man. They want all this money from a man, but then they want to still be an independent bad bitch. That don't work. You want to make your own money and have your own decisions and still be with a man. That shit don't work. It don't work. And it's crazy. These young men, they see the writings on the wall. They see the writings. They see it on social media. These women are saying this. I don't need a man because I got my own money. I don't need a man because he ain't got millions of dollars. He can't take care of me and let me do what I want. I don't want him. So these young men is like, bump that. I'm cool. I'm chilling inside the crib. I play on the game all day. These women ain't exciting. These women ain't trying to bring nothing to the table these days. Look at social media. They want to be baby mamas so they can get the money but not live with the man and not deal with the man but take his money. There's a lot of things out there, child support, all these things out there that's taking advantage of the man. So why would a man want to get into that situation? Why would a young man, these young men are smart. If I can't find the right one that want to be with me, I'm not having no kids, I'm not getting married because all I see is me losing money and you winning. These men is smart. And this is why. What's being portrayed by women? You guys act like you don't need a man. This is why our birth rate is low. This is why we have other countries coming here taking over. It's because you say you don't need a man. And then you have the women that are low income. They say they don't need a man because they're getting money from the government. So you don't need a man. So where does a man go? Why do men do interracial dating? Why do men go to other countries? Because they feel like they need it. And you guys are mad and say, oh, why he dating this type of girl? Why he dating this type of girl? Because he wants to date a black queen, but the black queen don't want the kings. Unless he got millions of dollars, but then you still don't want to be what he needs you to be. You still want to be in control. That's not the role of the woman. The woman is to be soft. The woman is to help nurture, help her husband grow. That is the role of the woman. She was created for man. But these young men are smart. These young men are looking like, you know what? What I see on social media, I see me losing. I want to have a wife. I want to have a girl, but I feel like I'm going to get played. I feel like I'm going to be broke. Women act like you don't need men. You care more about a woman's opinion than your man's opinion. Your man tell you look nice. You say, you're supposed to say that. But if your girl said you all hype for the day, that's what's wrong with women. Y'all care about each other, but y'all don't care about y'all man. But you want the man to do everything for him. Let's make it make sense.
Book, because I was one of those young men that spent the better part of my, teenage years and 20 years trying to pick up women.
Yep.
And apparently that stopped as well.
45% of men 18 to 24 have never asked a woman out in person.
That's eye-popping. And the question is why? Why is that?
I think that no man wants to be that guy. Imagine you make an approach at a place. One of the key things I think dads have to teach their sons is how to express romantic interest while making the other person feel safe. And this is anecdotal, but when I go up, I will have women approach me and say, I'm out, I'm obviously here, I'm open to meeting people, I look amazing, and not a single man has approached me. Guys don't want to be that guy. In addition, I hold big tech responsible for a lot of this. Amen. We have 40% of the S&P by market value who have connected to rage and divisiveness and sequestering people from their friends and family and mates.
You call social media a rage machine, and these companies are reaping billions. They're just trying to go from billionaires to multi-billionaires.
Well, look, if you look at social media, if you look at all these things, yes, it can create a division between man and women. A lot of men say certain things about women. A lot of women say certain things about a man. But if you're a young man and you're trying to, see what women like, how to enjoy women, how to be around women, but you see that women don't want you, now what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing for you to be like, okay, cool, I want you to be with me, but I want to be with you, but I see that I need to have millions and millions of dollars, a Bentley, a Lamborghini, big house, and all of that. But then I get you. You don't want to do the things that I need you to do to help me continue to win. These young men is smart. These young men ain't playing that. These young men don't want none of those problems. They like, nah, I'm good. I don't need to be around that. I don't need to be around somebody that's want to take me for my money. These young men don't want to be that guy. It's because they see the guy that they idolize lose everything because of a woman. So why would you want to be that guy? Why would you want to go out and get you a girl when you know I have a potential of losing it all? How do you know that somebody truly loves you for you when you got to have all this money up front first? That's what it was. Back in the day, even my time when I was dating, found somebody that liked me for me. I didn't have it all. But they like me for me, and they like that I'm a go-getter, and that's why we've been married ever since. But these young men are smart. They see what the climate is out there. They like, you know what? Hell no, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. Why would I? Why would you deal with that? So is this idiotic in how we see that, how social media ruins everything because women are putting out there that they don't need a man. You're putting it out there. You're putting it out there that I don't need a man. Ain't no man can control me. He gonna do what I say. I'm an independent woman. Blah, 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 blah. So now these men are like, you got it. I'm cool playing the game in my one bedroom apartment. No stress. They being smart. They not forcing the issue. Or they go overseas. Get them one over there. That's been taught how to be a good woman, how to nurture their king and making sure that their king is living the life they're supposed to live so he can take care of everybody in the family. Do you not know the power of a woman that submits to their husband? She has all the power. That just takes care of her husband and not trying to just be in her husband's way, not trying to be the leader. My kids ask me about the hierarchy in the family. I say it goes the man, the wife, the older kid, and then the younger kid. That's what it's supposed to be. Why is it like that? Why? Because it's in the Bible. Because the man is the head of the family. You can't tell me no different. If you got a problem with that, then you tripping. But the man is the head of the household, and he's the one that's supposed to take care of the family. But it's not the man and the wife together. No, it's the man first and then the wife second. But that does not mean that she is less than him. The man is supposed to take care of the family, but he's not supposed to be in competition with his wife. The woman's not supposed to come in and say, I'm better than you. Just because maybe you're in a situation where you got a better job than your man at the moment does not mean you're better than him. Does not mean you're head of the household. No matter how much money you make, you're still not the head of the household. See, a lot of women got that mixed up. Oh, you making all the money, and so you the head of the household. No, you're not. Then why have a man? Don't have a man if you feel that way. Be by yourself. Be independent. But you want the perks of having a man, but then you don't want to listen to your man. You don't want to submit to your man, to your husband. You don't want to do that. You want to be in charge. That's how you fail. That's how you not move forward, because you fighting your husband. Your husband not supposed to be fighting for power with you. Why you think men quit? Why you think men cheat? Why they say, you know what, I'm cool, because you battling with him every single day. He don't want that. Because you want respect and everything. Well, you don't get the respect, but you want to be seen by everybody as number one. The woman is never meant to be number one. That's not what God created. Adam was first, then Eve. So we're not being sexist. We're not being anything like, oh, but it's just true. Men love their women so much where they don't want them to work. The man wants to take care of their wife. They don't want the woman to stress. But you have to let that happen. You have to be ready for that. If you're not, don't get a man. Don't get somebody to take care of you. Don't do it. And that's okay. But then you'll be old and say, I don't have a man, but I got all this money and I'm by myself. So these young men, I'm telling you, they coming up, and social media shows all. Looking at all the women, and they all saying the same thing. And what are the young kids saying, the young men? I'm going to play the game. I'm going to be on my computer. I'm not going to deal with that. If I want a wife, I'm going to go overseas. Why do you think this is happening? You think they go overseas just because they want to go overseas? They're going overseas because there ain't nothing good that they want here that's going to take care of them, that's going to be there for them, that's not going to fight with them. We don't want to fight with our wives. We want to take care of our wives. We want to be there for our wives. We want to give everything and more to our wives, but y'all not letting us do that. So what's happening is the young men is like, I see how you treating him, how you treating him. I don't want to be treated like that, so I'm not going to be with a girl. That's all it is. It's very simple. So I'm blaming the women on that one. I'm blaming the women. It's what you portray on this app. It's what you put out there on this app for you to be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I see why. You have to understand it. But if you're trying to fight with your man or with some man that you're trying to be with, leave him alone. But we got to start taking accountability. This is the reason why we have a low death rate. We have a low birth rate. This is the reason why we're not having a lot of kids. This is the reason why we have immigrants coming in, taking over, because their culture is taught to have kids. Their cultures are taught to the woman is number 2, the man is number 1. Straight like that. There's no problem. So that's the reason why they got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids. We used to have that. What happened? The woman got money. The woman got feminism. So now she feels like she is the man. Now what happens to birth rates? It goes down. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I just want to know if I'm wrong. Because that's what happened. The women start getting their own money. They start getting money, whether that's working, whether that's going or getting it off of Section 8 or food stamps, getting it from the government. And now they feel like they don't need a man. Talking about American women. And I'm just talking about black women, all women in America. The American man is not needed by the American woman. I'm going to put that out there. The American men don't feel needed by the American woman. A good number. I'm not going to say all. Let's say 70, 80% of American men don't feel valued by American women. Unless they have a lot of money from the start, unless they're popular, unless they can do something and put them in a position for them to make money. So if we want our young men to come out and date and talk to you and do all these things, then don't act like a jackass and don't act like you don't need us. It's very simple.